Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and today I am going to show you how to make a birthday card. It's also Casing Tuesday. I have a lot of birthday cards to make this month, so I thought making a birthday card would be the perfect thing to do today. And I love this layout. When I saw it, let me show you the layout or the card that when I saw this card, I was like, what can I do with it? And we have this new bundle called So Much Happy, and I thought I would try and use it. So my card looks a lot different than the original card, and here is the sketch for it. So you could really, do something interesting with the sketch, and mine doesn't look exactly like the sketch, but in the end you will see that it does look like, if you can see the bones of the card come together. So I think I'm just going to get started today. My brain is a little frazzled. As many of you know, Nicholas headed up to Canada this weekend, and he's there now. And so now, like, my brain is like trying to adjust to everything being here. And so I just need to get started on this card and like get in the groove of card making. In fact, this morning was when I created this card. I had it kind of in pieces last night and I was still working on it, and I just had to go to bed. So this morning I finished it and got it ready to go. So I love how when you copy a card and give it a makeover, it gives you a starting point and it doesn't take quite as long, because otherwise I wouldn't have had a card for this morning. So let me just switch cameras here. Let me make sure my microphone is working. Put this out. Sorry for the clunk. Let me switch cameras. There we go. So let's talk about, let me show you my card first. Here is my card. And I love this happy. It intrigued me right from when the first time I saw it in the catalog. And I had to absolutely get it. I love how it's got this word across here, and it's attached both at the top and the bottom. So you can make this white piece here, you can make it the full size of the card if you want to. Like, this could have been cut out of the Sahara sand and it could be peeking through to the back. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this die, and that's why I like it. You could also cut it out. You could cut the happy away and just create like a separate word that isn't attached at the top and the bottom. But it's kind of fun that you can just cut it, and it makes it so much faster to make a card out of this way. So I'm using the So Much Happy bundle. It comes with this stamp set and this die set. And I like how they work together, because it's got like a little birthday and it's got a balloon, and then these balloons get cut out here. And the die set has it has some neat things. It has this piece right here, which creates a little stitch line. And it's got this piece right here that creates kind of like a little dashed line. And then it has this piece that creates this cute little banner right here. And this piece right here creates the little string for the balloon. So that's kind of neat. So we've got a lot of cool pieces in this stamp set. All right, let me just move that out of the way, and let's start off with the main piece, the main focal point, which is the happy. So I've got a piece of cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 2 1/2, and I'm going to make a noise and bring my big shot in here. We are getting a new die cutting machine very soon. So in September, it will be available for everyone, and I'll be able to pre-order it in August. So I'm looking forward to that. So here's the die. Okay, so when you cut it, this top and bottom piece will stay attached, and the connection is the happy in the middle. So what I want to do with this is I'm going to center it, and I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch next to my H. Okay, And then I will run this through the Big Shot. Just make sure it's straight. And then let me put my cover plate on. And then I'll run this through. This is just so easy. So you just lift this up and then, you get your piece out and then this piece just lifts off and you have happy. So easy. So easy. Out of the way. All right, so I wanted to pop this up with a little bit of pretty paper. And so I'm going to use the Playing with Patterns paper. And I happen to have with the paper, I had been making swatches for my team. And so I had like this 2-inch width left over. So it fits perfectly behind here. So what I'm gonna do is just put a little bit of Tombow right along this top edge, right above the happy and right below the happy. And then I'll flip this over and just attach this right here. Okay, and so, this is neat because you could put whatever paper you want behind here. If you're using a white cardstock in the foreground though, make sure you don't have too much white in the background. Otherwise you won't be able to see your the word happy very well. Or you just have to, if you're doing colored cardstock, just make sure that you don't have that color in the background if you want your word to really pop. All right, so the next thing I did was I cut myself a little banner and I just used that little die that I showed you. And I just kind of centered it on a 4¼ inch piece. And so this is what I came up with. So now I just need to take this and I'll put like a little dots of glue on the little triangles of this banner piece. You could also use adhesive sheets that will allow you to put the adhesive right on the die cut, like cut it right through. You'll put the adhesive sheet on the back of the cardstock before you cut it. And so then this would have all adhesive all along the back. But I'm usually too lazy to do that because when I'm designing my cards, I'm not committing to things. Like I cut a whole bunch of different pieces and I try them out and I see how they look. And then when I see that everything looks good, then I assemble it. But I don't want to have to like get too many pieces with adhesive on it already. So that's why I tend to end up using Tombow in the end. So doesn't that look pretty? All the colors in that paper kind of bringing it together. I'm going to grab just a little piece of Whisper White here and I'm going to stamp the balloon in Calypso Coral. Just ink that up and stamp it. So doesn't that look pretty? And then what I'm going to do is I already ran a balloon through with the Big Shot. So you just need to run this through with that balloon die. And then this is the piece that you get. And then there's the little die piece that cuts the little string for the balloon. Okay, this little piece. And I ran that through with some Whisper White. Now this piece is really spindly. So if you don't use adhesive sheet, I've got a little trick for you. I'm going to take a little piece of Terran tape, or you can take a mini glue dot too if that's easier for you. And I'm just going to tear off a little piece of this and put it behind the balloon coming up, okay? And remove the liner. And then I'm going to take this piece right here and I'm going to just attach it to my balloon. I kind of want the string to come straight down. Okay, because it's going to be attached over here. So, okay, so now I've got my string attached here and I didn't have to put any adhesive at all on this little string piece. So I'll flip this over and then I'll put 2 dimensionals right here on the back. And in a moment, I'm going to adhere this piece over here on the card base. Okay, so that's all prepped for a moment. And then I'll need a card base, and this one measures 11 inches by 4¼ inches and scored in half the 5½ inch mark. And then I use the Dainty, I think it's called the Dainty Diamonds embossing folder. And I took a piece of the same colored cardstock, Sahara Sand. This is 4¼ by 5½, and I just ran it through with the embossing folder. It's got a very light pattern. I don't know if you can see that at all. There, probably you can see it a little bit. So it's a very, very tiny pattern, but it just adds a little bit of texture to the card. Otherwise, it's got a very smooth surface. So I'll just attach this to the front. And then press down. Okay, so now we can add this piece to the front. Like this. All right, and then I can take this piece right here, remove the backings, and just add this over here to the side. I want that little loop to be in the colored paper area. And then just pin it down like that. Now, if this piece is too dangly right here, you can just leave this because it looks kind of cool just to have it dangle. But if you want to, you can add just a wee bit of Tombow to the back and maybe to the bottom. And then just come through and pin it down so that it's not wavering and it stays flat to the card. Okay, so for the inside, I wanted to stamp a little something. So I thought I would just do like a little happy birthday on the inside. So I got a piece of Whisper White, and this one measures 3¾ inches by 5 inches. And I'm just going to take my Calypso Coral again. And I took the happy and the birthday from the stamp set. And I just want to make sure that it's centered somewhat in the middle of the card. Doesn't that look pretty? I love having kind of a printed one word and then a scripty second word. They look so nice paired together. Both of these are individual stamps that I put on the same block. So you can use another word from the set. Like if you have a graduation, it could be happy graduation, happy to have you in my life, happy to celebrate you. So there's different ways you can combine these words together. I love that. All right, so then I took some, whoops, oh, Can't pick it up. Here we go. Took some Calypso Coral cardstock and I ran it through with that little banner again. And so I'm just going to, on one side, I'm going to put it like this, and on the other side, I'm going to put it through like this. So if I'm holding over on this side, then I'm going to hit all the banners coming down the line here. Okay, that's too much Tombow. My Tombow right now is a little clogged, and so I have to squeeze too hard to get it out. So let me unclog it. It's a full bottle, but it's a little bit clogged. So all right. Okay. Whoa, now it's really flowing. All right, now I've got the little dots coming. Just what I wanted. Okay, so then I can just take a scrap piece of paper and get rid of some of the excess glue before I stick it down on my project. Always love glued fingers, right? So I'll just add this over here. And stick it down, and in a second I'm going to cut that little piece off. So now I'm going to come over here. Oop. Use a lighter touch. My glue bottle lasts such a long time, and then when I start a new bottle, I have to remember there's like more glue in there. So let me get rid of this little bit of extra glue. Straighten that out. And then add this over here. And you could, I went really boring and I just did one color. But you could have the banner in a different color than the greeting that you stamp it in. And then I'm just going to flip this over and cut this off. Like that. And so that adds a little bit of fun to the front of the card. Oh, and then this one right here, I just need a little bit of Tombow. Just put some in the four corners. Okay. And then I'll just center this on the card front. All right, so there are the two cards, and so just depending on what color scheme you use for this background paper, then you can choose a color out of there to create the balloon. And I used a lighter color to create this banner so as not to detract from the paper and the balloon. So I think it has pretty good flow in terms of cards, and I think it does go back to the card, to the original card. So let me just switch back over here. Hey, yeah. So the original card, was this, and then this is my card. So you can kind of see that I've got the same pattern. Instead of a flower, I have a balloon. And my greeting's a little bit different, but it kind of has the same feel to it. So you can really do something different with this challenge if you want to. So good morning to everyone who's joined me. I know this card isn't as elaborate as some cards you can create, but I love this die. I think, let me pull this out. This die set is really a cool die set. I love that you've got I've got my happy, let me get this away. I love the happy and the little banner and the little balloon string. So this is a really nice birthday bundle that you can have to create cards. Oh, and you know, there is a sample in the catalog that I really love that I want to recreate. It has the happy going on an angle, like on a diagonal, which would be much harder to do. You know, because normally you can't do that so easily, but with that happy, you can definitely do that. So I want to recreate that card, or do something similar with an angle because that looks really cool to me. All right, let me see. Let me read some comments. Karen says, I just got that set and I haven't had a chance to play with it yet. Well, I hope you get a chance to play with it now. It is kind of a fun set. When you look at it originally in the catalog, you don't necessarily see all of its potential, but it really does have a lot of potential. So I'm so glad you guys joined me this morning. I hope you're having a great week. We started off the week here with a lot of rain, so it's been very gloomy. And yesterday kind of was like our first work day back since Nicholas has left for Canada. And it was just a little weird because, you know, I don't know. It just was a weird kind of gloomy sort of day. So I think I just have to get used to him not being here again. Empty Nester Part Two, and it was just it's so hard this time because you know he left and he was just so pleasant to be around, and now it's just like really weird not having him here, but we'll get used to it again. And of course, we get to see him. You know, we FaceTime and stuff, so it's not like we don't have a chance to communicate. So anyway, guys, I hope you'll join in this week and do some casing. Do a makeover for this card. The card should already be up over on our Facebook group. If you're not already a member and want to join, just look for the link down below in the description of this video and you can click on over there. And if you need any of the supplies that I showed you today, please click over to my blog and you'll find a supply list there. And if you have any questions, just please ask either in the comments or just shoot me an email and I'd be happy to answer them. All right, guys, I hope you have a great week. I hope you have, no matter where you are, I know Independence Day is coming up on Saturday. And Canada Day, where's Canada? There's my little flag, is tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a great celebration if you're in Canada in the U.S. And enjoy and do what you can in the safest manner possible. And I hope you have a nice celebration. All right, guys, have a great week. Take care. Bye bye.